This is so funny. Always trying to start this. I'm always trying to think of some clever intro, but I'm so damn awkward that that's never going to work. But anyway, what it do? Everybody listening to this wonderful episode of the Weekly Wind Down hosted by the one person that can always make themselves laugh, Jeremiah Neal, a.k.a. Jer Bear, a.k.a. The World of Jer, whatever you want to call me, the Pop-Culture Maven, because I love coming up with a little alter ego. It's cool when Beyonce and who else got a little thing? I'm pretty sure Gaga got somebody. Who was she? When y'all remember when Gaga was on stage doing dress up as Tony Capone or something? That was a very interesting era. Anywho, we ain't even talking about no girls today, but before I even hop into the meats and the potatoes of this episode, I want to give y'all a message of the day, which is do not rush. Please do not rush in life. Y'all, I almost didn't even make it today with the stress that has been happening. Maybe because I was in a rush and very excited to chat with you all because I have just so many ideas and so many fun topics and stuff that I want to just get off the dome. That it was just the most chaotic time prior to getting here. I was trying to be efficient and, get into the flow of taking care of errands and stuff like that before I got into my creative side. But I guess I should have did it in reverse because, y'all, why did I leave my phone at the laundromat? I done got home and the whole time I should have known because there was no music connected in my car. And I'm like, girl, where is my phone? So I have never zoomed so fast. Zoom like protozoa, girl. Right back over there. And then trying to get back into the apartment, I somehow put my keys at the bottom of the laundry bag, went on a whole 30-minute search while I had to use the restroom, mind you. So, that added extra pressure. So it's been a little crazy, but we thrive in the chaos because that's what we do in NYC, Brooklyn to be exact. Shout out to Bed-Stuy. Shout out to Bushwick. Y'all been taking care of me over here in this part of Brooklyn for a damn year. This is crazy. Anywho, I hope y'all are having a very spirited holiday season. Over here, y'all, well, I was hoping it was going to be a little bit, it varies over here on the East Coast. And I guess that's what I got to get in alignment with the unpredictability. But right now it's giving very Harry Potter, Dementor. We getting sucked up. The soul is getting sucked out of us, swallowed. But we're still going to bring the sunshine today because this is going to be a very, very, very fun episode. I hope y'all enjoyed last week's episode. We got some great feedback, which was always great. I love hearing what y'all think. A ton of y'all gave me some ideas for the future, so definitely active upon that. Y'all should see me. Anytime I'm on the train or whatever, opening on Who Loved the Notes app. If there's one thing iPhones or Apple did was a notes app, girl, because I love me the notes app. I love whipping her open and jot down an idea, transfer over into Notion. I still got that corporate. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse to have that order of efficiency vibe, but so many ideas that y'all gave me, and I'm very appreciative of that. But yes, the girls was dominating, especially the girl groups that we talked about last week. And then it got me thinking, and definitely not trying to start any gender wars, especially me being one of those annoying, I'm not binary, I'm gender fluid. But, I try not to look at things based off of boy versus girl or men versus women, especially when it comes to fashion, music, etc., because everybody can like everything. And I love living in New York, finding that. But we have to have a true discussion. And in my Kaya voice, who gonna be the boys? Where are the pop boys, y'all? Who are going to be the boys of pop? Who are the boy pop stars? This is something that has been on my mind for such a long time. And I'm ready to have not like I would say it's going to be a passionate discussion over some of the reasons and the theories as to why I feel like so many of the boys that I thought that were going to be rising on top or that were going to be the next ones to take the torch from the suave entertainers that we've had since, we got to give him props, I guess, Elvis up until now. I can't really identify somebody in 2025 that I feel could take on a torch of the Michael Jackson, just the heartthrob male pop star. Like that's been such a pinnacle of pop for, since pop music started, since its origin, and to see it kind of getting washed out and muddied out is something so strange to me, because I understand changes and swifts and stuff like that, but honestly, I feel like unless you're a rapper or a white boy that played a guitar, you're not going to get noticed or pushed on the new platforms of today, which I guess would be like the streaming platform. So I don't even know if that's worth it. I guess it is nice to have Apple Music support your release. But it's like, you got to be avant-garde, like Tyler, the Creator, or something like that. You can't just get up there and sing or dance and be just the entertainer. That has just like gone out the way. And we were rooting for Justin Bieber for a long time, especially with his new release. He ain't even put no effort in. He was at his party kissing boys. Ooh. Y'all heard the tea? Y'all heard the tea? I'm sure everybody has seen that. But anywho, that's not what we're here to talk about. I just feel like in an industry that has been dominated for so long by men, and I'm not talking about the entertainers alone. You got to think about the managers, the people that run the labels, the execs, the A&Rs. They've always been in control for so long. How did they lose the reins on being able to push a successful male pop star that's not headed down the route of Ed Sheeran or a Niall Horan from One Direction? And then for the different and quirky and weird artists that we have right now, there's no sense of urgency to like master the craft. I'm not seeing people like wanting to go to vocal lessons or exercise or dance lessons. There's no like repertoire that I'm being seen marketed. It's a lot of let's go party. And it ain't nothing wrong with, doing a little party, doing a little drug, doing what you got to do. But I don't know. I just don't see no urgency in the effort of people training to be the best. We see this in sports all the time. We see it in the damn Olympics, even though, shout out to my girl from Australia that breakdance. She was showing out. I still have not forgotten about that. And we about to be closer to the next Olympics. Maybe it's just like a consumer thing too, because I don't know, is it gay or something to want to sing or dance? Because I kind of remember that being a thing when I was growing up, and they would kind of like lump the boys. Like, for instance, when I wanted to call him Troy Bolton, what's the boy name? Zac Efron did High School Musical. They like touched upon those themes, like, oh, you like sports, so you can't happen to like wanted to sing and dance and be in a musical. And I'm like, I wonder if millennials and Gen Z have adopted this behavior that we don't want to consume that type of entertainment. But that can't be true, because anytime I see Usher doing they love, it's like, you can be a rapper, you can be a white boy with a guitar, or you can be a legend. When we see the legends do it, they want to be the front row. They love seeing Usher, wind and groove and do what they do on stage. But when it comes to like the new entertainers, for some reason, like, again, that has not caught on to consumers. And do they think it's gay? What do the girls think? I feel like they're the target demographic. I encountered so many wonderful women. Some don't mind being called fangirls, but like I've been surrounded, or I was surrounded by them for years in Los Angeles. And I know they would go to the ends of the earth to have an entertainer like do what it do, just do the thing that male pop stars do, which is just so interesting. But I don't know, that dedication to the craft, it's kind of gone missing to me. Maybe I just grew up in just a luxury time. Maybe like the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s were the peak years of music, and that's just what it was. And if so, I'm so lucky, because still to this day, I'm listening to the Tevin Campbells, Usher. I love me some Usher. I was obsessed with Aaron Carter, Cisco, hello, Craig David, Justin Timberlake. I was heavy on Chris Brown prior to the violence. Mario, Jesse McCartney, like all of the people that I just named all had like similar but different elements. Even I was into Omarion. I was more into him as like a brand. I love the You Got Served franchise. I want to get up in there, honey, all that. You see what I mean? It brought such an aura, an essence. Listen to me talk. I couldn't wait to be in the movies like Omarion. We don't have a boy that's giving that same energy and that aura as what I'm describing of how I felt growing up right now. I just do not see it. And I study a lot on social media. I'm paying attention to the waves and the trends and stuff. That's what you got to do. When you are old head, you got to study the comments. You got to understand, because sometimes I do not get it. Gnarly by Cat's Eye did not get it when it came out. Even Justin Bieber, even Jason Derulo, at least tried to do a little 1-2 step on the stage. Outkast just got their award at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it was so lovely to see them on stage. They radiate pop star energy, even though they were a rap group. They were rock stars. They are star quality. We know what that element is, and even if I can't describe it into words, we all know what that pop star vibe is. And y'all cannot tell me Post Malone, Benson Boone, I keep saying this, but that man that's seen The Ordinary, I don't know his name, Harry Styles, like, y'all not telling me that that's the direction that we're headed at and that's going to just satisfy the musical pop heads. Because it's not. Y'all gonna get real sad. That's why we keep going in this loop of nostalgia. And although that's great, we need people to bring the new. That's just like if all artists said, okay, well, we're just gonna worship Picasso and Van Gogh, for the rest of our lives, and we're never going to paint again and try to release. Like, somebody got to carry the torch, y'all, of effort. We cannot wash out this genre, especially how important it is to pop culture history. We had several other industries like come into play, like, K-pop. K-pop kind of brought in like the boy band thing again. I really do appreciate them because they made it cool to have, first of all, they love having, 9 members, 12 members in a group. So that's refreshing to see so many men together. Is almost giving like variety show, which is cool. But that was a cool vibe. I remember like Luis Fonsi, 2016, 2017, that whole like Latin wave. And I still think that's going on. We had like Maluma and J Balvin, and there's some new ones. Who's that guy? Raul. I think that's his name, Raul Alejandro. So they got their vibe going on. But there was a whole bunch of boys that were that they were on track to be the next pop boys. In the mid-2010s and right before COVID, we had a huge surge of boys that were on it. And I feel like COVID happened and we switched timelines, and now nobody don't want to sing no more. Who? Alex Ayano, Marteen, AJ Mitchell, Anthony Ramos, Travis, who else? Bazzi, William Singh. Yep, I'm calling all y'all out. Yep. Where are y'all? Where is the music? We got to get out of our heads. Don't be listening to them old people at the meetings. They don't know what they're talking about. Y'all need to release that shit. Release the music. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all went to all the songwriting camps. You went to all the studio sessions. You sit there at night, every single night being like, what am I doing? I know that's what's going on in y'all's head. Just release the music. I don't even care. Put it on SoundCloud. Put it on YouTube. It's going to reach the people that it needs to reach. And there are several passionate folks like myself who will go to the ends of the earth trying to promote good quality music if I just saw someone that actually cared. It's so funny to me. Even at the VMAs and stuff like that, pay attention to what I'm telling y'all. Go look at the award shows. Go look at the VMAs and see who are the male pop stars that are performing. Y'all have heard of them for years now, and they're kind of like reheating their nachos, which is totally fine, girl, because everybody got to get a bag. I love to see the veterans all go, the Lovers and Friends festivals, everybody doing Coachellas. Get the bag. But while y'all are getting the bag, we need to be prepping up a new generation of superstars to carry the torch and just keep on thriving. People are experimenting with things. I gotta give credit where it's due. Experimentation is cool. But it feels like, again, the timeline switch. Like, we got Machine Gun Kelly doing choreography with Sean Bankhead. Mind you, in mid-2010s, hardcore rapper, beefing with Eminem. Now he's doing like honky-tonk choreography with Sean Bankhead. It's like the boys are competing with the girls in a way. They're like molding into like one. It's just interesting to observe. A lot of people hate when we bring race into things, but it's no shade. Actually, all the shade. The black men have been actually carrying the vocals and the pop identity for the last 8 to 10 years. If we really want to talk about it, shout out to Khalid, shout out to Josh Levi, shout out to Duran Bernard, Destin Conrad, Black, Six Slack, who used to call him that? Slack, Masego, Leslie Odom Jr., Mike Lowry. Like, these are the voices that should have been on everybody radio stations. They should have been at every single Jingle Ball headlining. Like, they're really putting in the effort. They were carrying the music industry, but y'all don't want to invest time and energy into consuming Black excellence. Y'all automatically label these types of artists just R&B. They're not pop artists. They're just R&B because they're Black. and I can't stand it. Don't be discount. You shouldn't have to discount the heat that they bring, both vocals and lyrics, just because you don't perceive them as being your idea of pop. Meanwhile, in the 90s, we done had every single genre charting at number one. We had Boyz II Men and Garbage and Eiffel 65 and 3LW all fighting for number one spots. Y'all couldn't tell me that all of that wasn't pop. You know what I mean? So shout out to the blacks. Once again, holding it down, keeping it underground, while these old white men and these label heads sit in the office and try to figure out how they're going to save this music industry. And they don't know what they're doing. That's why they're cutting all the jobs. That's why they're replacing everything with AI, including the recordings. So I don't know what's going to happen to all y'all, because all the engineers, they ain't going to have no job. They cut everybody department. and so this is the gist of it. Stop relying on these people to push your art when you can push your art in a space where everybody can see it. You can't tell me you're not going to find your audience, your people. People be in their bonnets on TikTok talking about taking their kid to daycare, and they found the best frappuccino from a coffee shop, and this shit goes viral. It gets 50 million views. So you can't tell me that your art can't reach the same way. I know it could. Everybody knows it could. You just got to release it and believe in it. And that's the thing, though. People not sending in, because music to me is frequency. So you got to send it out into the atmosphere with like good intention, good heart, or whatever. And I feel like all of that, when you have a label, when you have a manager and an A&R and all these people in your head, it dilutes the pureness of your art to where it's not going to be able to reach who it's supposed to reach, because it's diluted with opinion and he said, she said, like Ashley Tisdale. Bump all them people. If you recorded a record and all you can do is roll down the street, bump it in your car, replay it in your headphones over and over again, don't you think the rest of the world should hear the record? Now, who says it might be subjective? A lot of people might say it sucks. Okay, it's going to take you some sucky experiences to get to the good experience sometime, or to maybe even find your sound or the lane that you want to do for that specific project. But super fans, avid listeners of music, understand that. They're not going to hold that against you. They're going to encourage you to keep creating art. And that's who you should be thinking about at the end of the day. So if any of these male artists that I named are listening to what I'm talking about, please take heed to that, because you shouldn't have to appeal to the whites. You don't have to be I guess you have to if you want to reach the heights of the heights. But I don't believe that your art has to be palatable to the whites, or you have to be so avant-garde like Tyler, the Creator, to have a successful pop career. I've witnessed it growing up. Several people being able to dominate. Regardless of genre, they were still considered pop. We had country, R&B, pop, dance pop, EDM, all these genres, but they still were pop records at the end of the day. I mean, we even had... I wanted to bring up Sam Smith earlier, but then I realized he switched over to the MB team. You know us, you know our agenda. The gays always have an agenda trying to switch things up. So now he don't count y'all. Sam Smith is a them, they. Those damn clears. And speaking of another topic, I feel like it might be topically, maybe folks don't know what to talk about. We live in a culture where it has changed everything. We used to have so many different songwriters and songs about, like, even look at Britney Spears' first album. She has the songs She's So Lucky. Like, there was storytelling with a lot of the songs that we grew up with. And nowadays, all the stories are, let's go to the bar, girl. Let's get drunk. Let's go bang, bang, bang. Hook up. They broke my heart. I hate you. Which is great and very common. This is happening in a lot of society, but I feel like we can broaden up the scope. We can expand the horizons of topics. There are so many things that are happening in this world. You can go the political route. A lot of people don't like doing that, but shout out to Russ. I feel like he's an artist that will stand 10 toes down what they want to say. But there's so many other things outside of just sex and hooking up. I feel like I sound like an old head now. Why am I giving uncty vibes, y'all? But it's true. There are so many other topics that we could be discussing besides sex. And then if you want to talk about sex, make it lyrically juicy. Y'all know who did that real good? Joe. Joe was a phenomenal lyricist in making the innuendos and all that stuff sound like literal butterflies, like floating into your ears. Like, be poets, be actual writers, tell stories, And not everything. That's why I love me some Alec Benjamin. Alec Benjamin will always tell you a story or take you on a journey with his lyrics, and then he switches it up with the high pitched voice. So he's like hitting all these different sensory overloads, which I love. But it's just like, get back into storytelling, and not everything always has to be about love and romance and, quite frankly, hooking up at the party. I get it, and I get that it's generational, and I get that's what a lot of people are doing. But I do feel with longevity, with wanting to be, y'all see how these legends are doing these throwback tours? Brandy and Monica, they selling out these arenas 20, 30 years later. It's because their music went on the timeless route. It's because they were telling these stories that they knew people 15, 20 years would still be able to relate to, because they're speaking from the heart. It's not just trying to follow some popular trend of what they think is going to sell real quick or go viral on TikTok real quick and call it a day. You can still do that. I'm not hating on that, because you got to be a part of the game. You got to play the game. You got to get yourself seen out there. But while you play that game, still give us a dose of the heart. Still give us a dose of your truth, who you are as artists. I need the boys to get back to the good old days. But speaking of some boys that I do think are on that route, I got to shout out my boy Omar Rootberg. He's on tour right now with Zara Larsson and killing it as an opening act. Used to be a part of a boy band, but since pivoted to like acting, done several like Netflix shows, but then got back into music, which I think is great because he's a wonderful musician and openly queer, which we love. Back in my day, we only had like Ali Alexander from Years and Years. And I think, was Milli Vanilli out? I don't remember. Talking about, first of all, decades apart. Who else? Y'all seen David Archuleta from American Idol is back. Talk about queer, out and proud. So shout out to David living. I think that's cool too, because David gets to live like another artist journey now that he's come out. So he had all the wonderful records that we liked growing up listening to, and now he can blossom and explore a little bit. And that's exactly what he's been doing with his records. So I love to see that. Edwin from Pretty Much has been doing a really cool run with his solo career. He actually just went on tour with Jack and Jack. That's kind of cool to see them. See, I talk about getting to the bag. Get on tour, y'all. Get on them reunion tours. But that's kind of cool to see him. Out of all the boys, I thought more of them would be pursuing music, but he's going headstrong, and I love that. In this industry, you have got to be fearless. You've got to believe that you are the shit in order for people to believe it, and he's one of those people. So I love to see that. Youngblood, shoot, he ain't really pop, but I love to see him flipping on stage and rocking out and doing what he got to do. He giving me Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I mean? He giving me that rock star ambiance that I want to see. So shout out to Youngblood. Alto Moon, y'all gotta give it up for Alto Moon, who's serving it up for the intro music in the pod. I love me some Alto Moon. It's giving Powerline mixed with Kesha. I know that sounds crazy, y'all, but it's just like giving really cool electronic R&B. So I'm here for it. We need more Black pop stars. So shout out to Alto Moon. Speaking of Black pop stars, Bronze Avery. I actually ran into Bronze right before I left LA, and that was so cool. Again, I always root for anybody that's Black and these industries that are against Black people. They are, y'all. I lived in it for 12 years. I had to fight 10 times harder to enter into these doors. And I'm not complaining now because I'm so confident in self, and I know exactly my talents and my beliefs and my standards and my integrity of who I am as a person. I'm not going to wallow to no white man. But that's what they want you to do, shuck and jive, in order to even get a tenth of what some of my counterparts were getting, and they have no talent. So to see Bronze be in a dance pop space, which people in WeHo would probably say that should be a white boy or Hispanic boy singing that kind of music, he's out there killing it. So shout out to Bronze. And then there's some boy groups. Maybe I'll do an episode on boy groups, but there are a couple of boy groups that I've been really into. Gaetano I believe they're from Minneapolis. They have a song, She Knows, She Knows, She Knows. Y'all, Y'all, talk about originality. Talk about trying to find your own sound. This is what I'm talking about. They not trying to replicate a sound, I feel, that has already been done. They just doing their own thing. They have their own swag. They're not trying to be too pop, too rock. They just singing and grooving, and I love it. I love their aesthetic. It's giving a little 80s as well. So y'all got to get into them. They need to do more tours or something like that. Maybe get on the East Coast a little bit, because I really feel like they could connect with the New York crowd if they ever do some shows out here. And we mentioned the show Building the Band in the last episode, but the boys of Solidified are really bringing back that Y2K sound. They have 2 singles out. I think the newest one is called Tell Me What's Your Name, and it's really dope. They're on tour, so it's cool to watch them develop as a group. They've been together for maybe a year or so it's cool to just see people gel and find their chemistry together. And obviously all the boys in that group can sing down. So if y'all are missing that Y2K sound and the performance vibe as well of the choreography, I do think Solidified is bringing that back, and they should definitely be solid for the next couple years because they definitely have the fan base. And then there are my boys over in the UK, No Guidance. I love the direction that they're going. I also feel like they should follow the flow route. I feel like they need to come over to America. They would have a really cool, strong fan base. And if they hit up all the major cities, if they did the DCs, the Phillies, they should go to Atlanta. I feel they would do really well there. Obviously, New York, LA, because I don't think that the UK is appreciating them or their sound as much as they deserve. It's been very rare for all brown black groups to have big moments, and especially in the UK. What was it? Damage, that was a group, JLS. But Mike Lowry, they've been a group for 15 years, and they should have been number 1 on the charts. And I feel like people, again, are so resistant of black excellence, black joy, black talent. They do not want these people to be number 1 because they know they are so good. It's like a ha. Let's just prop up mediocrity. And I guess that's fine. If that's what people want to be the trend, so be it. But we need to be given credit where it's due, and acts like Mike Lowry, acts like No Guidance, they're really putting in the work, and they deserve their chance on these tours, on the charts, expanding and growing as artists. They deserve that. But yeah, y'all, I told y'all I was going to be passionate. I hope y'all enjoy me rambling on and on and on. I've been calling myself this little pop culture maven stick for over a decade now, and I hope that with me rambling on like this, it puts things into perspective as to why I call myself this. I'm a living, breathing, walking encyclopedia of pop culture and pop music. And if I could just sit here and talk about this all day, I absolutely would. And there's going to be a time where we're going to be on tour and I'm going to meet so many amazing pop heads like myself, and we're just going to fan out and listen to music and groove and talk about the good glory days and talk about the present, because like I said, there's so many new artists that are trying. We need to just prop them up and give them a chance to have that spot in pop music, because right now, y'all, like I said, the girls are killing it. They're dominating. And yeah, I mean, am I mad at that? After I just did this whole theory as to why they need to have a resurgence of male pop stars. Now I'm like, oh, well, is it not too bad that the girls are dominating? But no, I'm just kidding. Anywho, if you haven't already, make sure to give the podcast a 5-star rating. Leave a review. Share with a friend. Y'all already know the drill. The Patreon is in the works. Y'all got to give your girl some time I'm in my whole influencer flow. I'm over there on YouTube, y'all. I'm trying to do my little thing on TikTok. Started finally posting on Instagram again. So, Jer Bear is back in full effect. And I just hope that you guys are just loving and embracing everything that is going on in this new era, because I'm actually loving it. And it feels like authentically me. In a weird way. Like, I feel like I can actually just be my weird, quirky self, and I'm going to find my tribe of people that enjoy that, and that's so rewarding. So now I just got to share and put out, like we said, the joy and the fun and the sunshine and the atmosphere. Sending all my love and my sunflowers to y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening, and until next time, this is the weekly wind down. What is that? Bye, y'all.